Ladies and gentlemen, I am Couch Goop and welcome to another It's Time to Talk. It's Bleak Faith Forsaken's turn this week, and we have a few rumours, a lot of footage, a very blank Steam page on the studio, Archangel they're called. These guys, there's two of them. This project has been kickstarted from the get-go, and I think it looks like they're looking for backers still. I don't know. They must have found one if they've got a planned release date for Q4 2021. Just a little reminder, we are 6 weeks till the end of the year, and we have had quite an interesting trailer drop quite recently, which is to do with 100 corpses. It's pretty macabre and violent and blood-soaked, so I'm kind of behind it. Very quick look at the social medias, and it is functioning. There is posts. It's not like they've abandoned this project at all, and they're keeping us updated. It looks like we're damn close to seeing this game roll out. But then again, these things just sometimes disappear. 100-man Slayer trailer it's called. What did I say? 1,000 corpses. Isn't that House of the Dead? I mean, there's Bloodborne in here. There's zombies in here. I'm getting a Shadow of the Colossus Ico vibe with the whole castle. I'm loving this soundtrack. But when I first saw this, because this is quite a new trailer, I kind of started paying attention. Remember that 99 Nights game that they threatened to bring out on the Xbox 360? I don't think they actually brought this out. They probably did. It looked a bit high-rolly. Let's hope that there's a lot of weight and gravitas in that swordplay, because things can go a bit paper bag, can't they? If there's too much on the screen and too much damage, not enough impact, you guys know the deal. So let's hope that some of the weighty and physics mechanics that you pull from a game like Dark Souls when it comes to single-handed weapon wielding or even stumbling when you've got too much weight on board, I think we might see some of that. We've got to remember that this is a huge Dark Souls homage. It's pulling from loads of that game, and when you get to see the UI system, there might be some clues there to some of the delays on this project. There is something it's pushing out of the Dark Souls circle quite a lot, and it seems to be traversal, particularly pointing towards an Assassin's Creed level of wall climbing. Now that points to a whole detailed amount of level design. One of the traits of Dark Souls is that you're kind of on a flat grid system. You do go up and down, but you're not dealing with large vertical walls, Breath of the Wild style, go anywhere gameplay. Not yet anyway, Elden Ring. So I'm very much welcoming that mix. We see that in Ghost of Tsushima with climbing up the mountains, being able to just use that winch and rope. It kind of adds a lot more to the third-person ARPG. And of course, coming up with these levels and just looking at the scope of some of the designs, I'm big on huge interior space and how well they've created that daunting height on all of these buildings. And there was a really freaky bloke down there as well who was like shivering in some sort of circle. This game's got its fair amount of darkness to it. There's some crucifixes around and some very almost paganist references with the masks and costumes. So I'm not sure what direction it's going to go in on that front. That front cover, the recent one as well, also gives me like kind of near vibes almost. I like this biomechanical look and the red eyes on everything. There was the film called 9 that was out with those little sack people in it. They kind of got that robot look, haven't they, with the spiky, tubed, biomechanical.
The abyss remains, the binding thread of all matter.
Let's talk more about its weapons, fight style, and what it really says on that Kickstarter page about the influences that these guys took on board when putting this game together. It is very much a From Software homage, which I'm a big fan of, and if it's done right and if it's done with the correct angles that aren't already in the original From games, i.e. come in with something fresh and something cool, then we're always onto something there. Look at games like The Surge 2 or even a game like Mortal Shell, which has really come into its own, and a game that was completely in the shadow of a Souls-like genre. Back to Forsaken, and it looks like we have a standard parry. It looks like we have stamina meters on the enemies as well as your own. They could even be magic meters, and of course you're wielding more than one weapon type. There's a shield on the back here. There would be dual wielding, I imagine, with maybe smaller handheld weaponry, and there's definitely the single-handed large long blade gameplay that we saw with that 1,000 Corpses footage. Again, it's really strange with this Shadow of the Colossus vibe, especially with that bridge. And another strange thing is I fired that game up the other day. It's going on one of my newer lists. I'm not going to put any spoilers in, but I've got a very strange top X in games list coming up. I normally do them blood, water, fire. Now we've got an even weirder one. I'm in two minds about this project. I'm really confident that if it comes to fruition, it will be an awesome game. But I'm also quite worried about whether or not they've got backers, how quiet it all is. There's only really one vertical slice gameplay reel, and it's not that interesting. I didn't even put it on this video. I much prefer to show you guys some of the flashier material. So it could have the sort of Damocles over it for this year. I don't know. Let's cross everything, because it would be nice to have. Only going to be on Steam by the looks of it. Probably won't be full price, but I'll take anything in this Elden Ring drought we've got coming up. Back to what I'm up to on the channel. I'm currently eating my way through Forza Horizon 5. It's probably the best open world driving game I've ever seen. Ray tracing, everything is just, oh my god. I'm not going to do a full-on review because it's swamped on the SEO for that, but I will put it into something at some point before the end of the year. Spoilers. And of course I'm playing Valhalla and loving it a lot, especially the soundtrack and the vistas and the way it's looking on the 5, but I'm having a problem with my new patch. It won't update. Cyberpunk, hello. See you down there.